I'm Bill Oughton of Oughton Claims Management.
I'm Chantal Roberts of CMR Consulting, and welcome to the Art of Adjusting podcast.
Today, we're going to talk about life as an insurance adjuster from the perspective of property, auto, liability, or workers' compensation adjusters. Our goal is to bring interesting topics in the world of claims adjusting to people who are working as an adjuster now and to people who are considering a career as a claims
Hi,
adjuster.
Amy. How are you?
Hey, good morning.
Good.
Good.
Good morning. I don't know where Bill is because he is MIA. But the fun thing about the Art of Adjusting podcast is that one never knows what's going to happen in our podcast. So anything could happen. He can show up later. Who knows? It could be he could have been abducted by aliens or ill-tempered cows with freaking laser beams. I don't know. One never
Who
knows.
knows?
One doesn't know. But I wanted to welcome you onto the Art of Adjusting podcast. And you are just for our guest, Amy Cooper, who is the founder and CEO of Rise. And if you don't know about Rise, you definitely should, especially if you are going to be starting out in the insurance industry. So, Rise wants to help young insurance professionals connect with each other and support and empower one another. So, Amy, welcome.
Thank you so much. Very happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about Rise. What does it do? How did you come to found it?
So RISE stands for Rising Insurance Star Executives. It's a group that is built, it's a whole community that is all about helping rising insurance leaders in the industry. So I think maybe we get the rep for being just for young professionals, but that's not just it. Yes, we are working to attract students and newer professionals into the industry, but we're also supporting your management track, executive track, rising leaders of the industry. We have a mentorship program. We also have our leadership summit and leadership training ongoing. We do all kinds of education, networking events all over the country. And I really started this because I wanted this and it didn't exist for me. So I just said, okay, I'm going to build it. And that's how we got here.
Wow. Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic because I absolutely love the fact, and that was one of my questions too. Is it like for everybody or what have you? And we'll get to it later. But I just love the fact that you're out here helping the next generation of insurance professionals get better because it's something that I'm very passionate about, and it's one of the reasons why I have this podcast is that I'm out here trying to help adjusters in this specific sense because I feel that there's not the education that there was when I was coming up through the ranks and when Bill was coming up through the ranks. But I saw on your website because I did some lurking. I did some lurking on your website, and you have like the 50 best internship programs in the industry, and like 84% of the interns said that they would definitely recommend an internship. And I have to say, I would too. I didn't do one, but I definitely think it's absolutely 100% you need to do it. I'm going to lean heavily towards claims because that's where my passion is. But spoiler alert, I did look at the two, like some of the winners, and two of the companies that send their interns over to the Borough of Manhattan Community College where I teach, um, RMI, weren't listed. Like, oh my
Oh,
gosh. Like, so obviously they're not very good. We'll have to talk off the record.
or they haven't applied yet. Who knows?
See,
It is
that's what I'm
getting
saying.
more and more competitive, to be honest, every year, the nominations. But that opens up in the summer while the interns are in school. So you got to tell your interns to nominate their program if they like it.
Perfect. Yeah, because I was going to ask you too, like, how do you match people? Can these companies get into your internship so that maybe gives you more intern slots or whatever? I don't
Well,
know.
actually place interns. We just publish a list of the top programs and information on them. So it's really up, and then we try to send that list out to all the schools and universities that we have either connections with or our members have connections with. So if they're not on there, who knows? Do they know about us? Have they applied? Maybe get them on there and tell them to apply this year. But like I said, it's gotten really competitive now. So
I bet. No, yeah, I absolutely can imagine that it would. You had mentioned the mentorship program that goes every spring and fall. And again, I was lurking, and I love that idea again because I think especially now that a lot of people, and again, I'm just looking at this from the claims point of view because that's what I necessarily hear, is that so many people feel very isolated because they're working from home.
mhm.
And back in the day, like when I was learning, I would have my boss or my immediate supervisor, we sat in little cubes, like a quadruplex or whatever. And there was the most senior, and then two kind of juniors, and then the most new, wet behind the ears, which was me. And the senior person could sit there and listen to how I talk. And then I could listen to how they talk. And so I love the fact that you have some mentorship programs. Tell me about this.
Yeah, I think anyone who's been successful in their career, you can look back and say, well, I definitely have had mentors, I've had people to help me. Experiences like that early on in your career can really impact you. And it is different. It's a whole brave new world now with people working from home and working hybrid or whatever it is. So there's not as many of those opportunities. And sort of like, Brian Falchuk will have his, do a day, like you can do anything for a day. So kind of focus on that. Our mentorship program is only 3 months. As a professional, you can commit to anything for 3 months. A whole year, I don't know. How does that fit in or how does that take time away from me? But only 3 months. Yeah, I think I can do that. So our program is 3 months. It's 6 different meetings, and it is scheduled virtually. We pair all over the like cross-functionally, cross-pollinating different parts of the industry. We do that on purpose, actually, just to try to expose people to new areas, also to avoid any sort of like perceived poaching issues or whatever. Like we want people to learn. And then the 6 different sessions that they do, it really focuses in on growing you. Not technical skills of the job, but how do I handle difficult conversations or difficult people? What am I doing with my career goals? How am I pursuing that? How am I getting better? And so like really working on yourself and those like we used to call soft skills, but human skills that you
That's what I
need.
was just getting ready to say. Like, oh my gosh, these are soft skills, and we all need them, don't we?
Yeah. And so that's what Rise does. We focus on supporting you and your person and your people skills that you need to be successful. And that's what the mentorship program does. So it's open to anyone. You do have to apply. You do have to go through the commitment if you're going to be a mentee, or you have to do the training if you're going to be a mentor. But it's great because if you've never been part of a formal program, it teaches you how to set up a mentoring relationship. And then you can continue on your own. You can take that, keep moving forward with the same person if you love talking to them and you want to keep it going. A lot of people do.
So, how would we get involved with that? Because I am not a member of Rise, but what if I wanted to sponsor someone or mentor someone, or what if someone like my stepson, who has only been in the industry for about 5 years, if he wanted to become a mentee?
Great question. Riseprofessionals.com. You go on and you join for free. You can join as a member or a mentor. When you sign up, we categorize you and you can sign up for the mentorship program. The fall applications will open up, I think, in June or July for fall. So it's coming up really soon. Definitely right after the leadership summit, they'll be open and you'll get tagged in, you'll get the timeline, and you can participate in the fall. We always need more mentors. There are so many people out there looking for a mentor. So if you are just considering giving back, or maybe you're interested, like please do it. We can use as many mentors as we can get.
Yeah, and I like the idea that you were talking about the cross-pollination because I think it's very important. I have often suggested, and I did suggest in one of my books that as an adjuster, you need to sit one day with the agent and see what they do, and sit a day or more, if you can, with the underwriters and see what they do, and go out in the field if you're a desk adjuster. Go out into the field and look the insured in the eye because it's a totally different experience than sitting behind a desk answering the phone. So I love the fact that you're doing that because I think for me personally, it took me probably a good 10 years to figure out how everything got together and like did the cogs, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be successful in the insurance industry, you have to think globally. How does what I do affect downstream? Who is the ultimate customer? Like really understanding the process. And the more people that you meet outside of your cubicle, the more it broadens your horizons. You see the global view of the industry, and you can be more successful because you can be more strategic. And yeah, I mean, you're talking about adjusters. I mean, there's nothing more of a human skill than emotional intelligence that's actually going to make you better at your job. And we don't teach emotional intelligence in companies or like from your supervisor. So it's something that you have to go elsewhere to get. And that's something that you can focus on with your mentor or at Rise at the Leadership Summit stuff that we do.
Yeah, because you have the leadership summit coming up and it sounds freaking awesome.
It is
It sounds like it's a
awesome.
big old party.
A lot of people say that. And you know what? It is fun. I'm not gonna lie. We have a good time. But that's what you have to do if you want to change the image of insurance. We are trying to change insurance from looking like a stodgy old pocket protector, like, my grandfather's agency industry. We want it to be fun. We want to attract the next generation. And you're not going to do that by doing the same old stuffy conferences. You have to be different. And that's what Rise is doing. So it looks like a party, but I promise there is more education packed in these 2 days than you could ever get anywhere else. We do 15-minute TED style talks. So
Mm.
it's quick delivery nuggets, and you're hearing from C-suite execs, top senior leaders of the industry delivering on individual topics. There's two different tracks so you can pick based on where you're at. If you're more entry level or you're an individual contributor, we have a personal development track. If you're in management already, directors, VPs, there's a management track for you. So there's something for everyone there. And yes, we do speed mentoring. We make fun with the networking and, try to make it entertaining.
It sounds fantastic. Is it all still soft skills that you're concentrating on, or do you have, because you mentioned the two tracks, and my mind immediately went to, oh, property casualty or property and health and life or something like that. But you had mentioned, entry and then mid to, upper tier or whatever. And I'm loving that too. By the way, I just love you, basically, is what I'm saying. Um, I have bro love.
I
But
hope you'll be coming this year.
you know what? I kind of want to, but unfortunately, I already have something planned during that time. My husband has a reunion, like a school reunion. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go, but okay.
You skip that. Come to Florida, come to the beach, hang out with us. You'll have
Right.
fun.
Although it's like marriage, Florida.
Well, if you have to pick between, I understand.
Yeah, so awkward. But no, I totally agree that we need to change the perception of insurance. And like I said, I teach risk management and insurance at a community college up in New York. And the way that I do it is by using The Incredibles and that cartoon. And it keeps the students engaged because it's something that they're used to rather than company A did blah, 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 and then company B did yada, 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 because that's the way that I was taught. And that's another reason why it took me 10 years to figure out how everything works together is because we were not using the same example. which
Mhm.
sounds it makes it sound like I'm not that smart, but we weren't using the same example the whole way through, so I couldn't figure out, well, how does the ROI impact the this, and this, and blah, blah, blah. Um, so I love the fact that we're doing shorter things and we're moving around a little bit more and that. So what are our topics, I guess? Soft topics, soft skills.
Everything leadership. So it can be things from communication styles, presentation skills, emotional intelligence. We have like moving from peer to manager, some of those pivotal transitions. We have workshops on decision making, critical thinking, stuff like that. So it is, yes, human skills, but we do it in a way that you're gonna learn from someone else's stories
Mm.
and get a nugget and take it home as something that you can work on. The workshops are very interactive. So there's a few 30-minute workshops that we do. We have a few bonus ones. We have like leveraging AI tools to help your career. We've got another one that's a LinkedIn masterclass. So there's stuff like that that is just more career focused, helping you
Yeah.
be more successful.
Yeah, well, the LinkedIn issue though is very important as well because I think that's how you and I had gotten together. But I also tell the students, I'm like, y'all need to start hitting LinkedIn just like you do your threads or your Sky, or please stop inventing things because I'm just going to stop with Instagram. I gotta tell you, I can't anymore. But the annual meeting, like you said, Fort Lauderdale, fun, June 16th through the 18th.
Correct.
How much does it cost to go? Like, is there a cost to go? I know there's room charges and blah, blah, blah. We don't care about those. But like the entry fee or whatever.
I think tickets now are $7.95 because we're not early bird anymore. But it includes, breakfast, lunch, and dinners, and you're coming in and you're going to have a great time. So it's sort of like an all-in-one if your company's willing to send you. Not much else outside of that that you need to spend anything on. We have a great room rate at the Marriott, which, by the way, room block closes at the end of the month. So if you're not in, you got to get on that.
Yes.
But it is, putting yourself in the right room with companies that are sending all their top people. Now you're in the room with a room full of top people. And we've all heard that how your circle of influence influences you.
Mhm.
So if you're trying to level up, that's definitely the room you want to be in.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And you had mentioned that you kind of have the reputation for being just for young people, but it's really for anybody who wants any kind of insurance professional that wants to move up and level up and that sort of thing. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we focus early career. I would say the majority of our membership is there. But they are people who are earmarked for management or management track, executive track people. So if you're looking to move up, you can be involved. There's not like an age cutoff or anything where you're not involved. It's just maybe now your involvement changes. Maybe now you flip around and you're going to be a mentor and you're going to speak and you're going to serve on one of our committees or things like that. So it changes as your career evolves and you progress. You can kind of change with Rise.
Yeah, yeah, it's more like being on a ladder and helping someone up,
Yeah.
the ladder or whatever. Because I was wondering if there's like a cutoff, it's like 40 under 40 or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm not 40 anymore.
Well, we do have an award that's a 35 under 35 award. We have several awards, but that's where we get that reputation. And people are like, oh, I'm not under 35.
Yeah.
Me neither anymore. So
I'm totally under 35. Yeah, blah. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. So I'm loving that. So you're needing more mentors. So more people with more experience. Great leadership uh, seminar coming up. What else do y'all have coming up throughout the rest
um,
of the year?
Yeah, so the rest of the year we do an innovators lab. In the fall, it's a live virtual program, 3 half days. You can sign up. We actually teach how to innovate. So all the lingo, calculating ROI, how to do your pitch internally, how to actually affect change. inside of your company. So whether or not you're the decision maker on those things, we're teaching innovation. So that's a really cool program we do. We have Wisdom Wednesdays every other Wednesday. You can join us. We've got different chats that we're doing. We have pop-up events. And again, like we make those not just another happy hour. I don't
Right.
think the industry needs more. Like
Yeah.
we've got
Yeah.
plenty.
Yeah.
But we make it where there's an activity, there's an educational component, and there's networking. And we do those in cities around the country. Right now, mostly just the US. Might see us in London in the fall, but we've got Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Charlotte, a whole bunch of them coming up. You can find those on our event page on the website. And those are chances to, if you're in any of those local communities, meet with local folks. We have an ambassador program that's throwing different events, and they'll host tables at career fairs and iDays, trying to attract that next generation into our group. And we have a lot of partnerships, like, we'll be at ITC, we'll be at Connected Claims, we'll be at different events that are coming up, where you can connect with Rise ambassadors or members, people doing meetups at whatever's going on in the industry.
Oh, good. It sounds like you are being kept very, very busy.
Very busy. Thank goodness we have an amazing team at Rise. That's all I gotta say.
Wow. Yeah. So we are almost out of time, and we've already talked about how they can learn about the annual event. Is there anything else that you would like to let them know about?
Um, Well, I mean, definitely if you're on the fence, I would say the Leadership Summit is the thing that you want to come to. If you're able to make it, if you're able to make it. If not, then at least join Rise. Because if you get into our community, we launched an app this year. And now there's an online community where you can go in and you can chat and you can follow different things and you can connect with other members virtually very easily. I mean, you could have done it before, but now it's a lot easier inside of our online community. And through that, you can connect with people and get involved. And that's what I would say is, like, if you haven't joined, like, take that first step. It's free. It's the best thing you're going to do for yourself all year.
Yeah. And again, I gotta say, much props to y'all for thinking and in a outside the box kind of way to reach the newer generations. Because what do? We keep our phones on us all the time. We're always on the phone playing with an app or whatever. So it's a great way to try to reach someone. I love that fact.
Yeah, you can follow us on TikTok. We're on Instagram if you want more things. Like, we're on there, but
Please don't. Just, please stop inventing things. I can't anymore. Now I feel like I'm like that old person who's like, don't go past the 8 tracks. In the beta videos. You're too young to know what that is. That's okay. I'm going to stop now. But anyway, thank you so much for spending time with me today. And our next episode will be on June 5th. But this, I think, is going to be before that. Yeah, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. But June 5th, we're going to have Connor McCarrick of Filing Focus, which should be kind of an interesting episode. Filing Focus is a new product out there that helps people in the marketplace find forms and policy forms easier. So that should be absolutely fantastic. Thank you again, Amy. I appreciate it. And we'll see you soon.
thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Art of Adjusting podcast, where we talk about life as an insurance adjuster.
If you enjoyed this podcast or this episode, please give us 5 stars and a review. It does help the algorithm pick us up.
Hit that subscribe button real quick and tell all of your adjuster friends to check this out as well. For independent adjusting services, go to www.autin.claims. And for anyone interested in working as an independent liability adjuster, go to the Contact Us tab to join our roster.
In the meantime, you can contact me at theartofadjusting.com for consulting and training purposes.